I hadn't meant to land on this planet. My ship was leaking fuel, alarms were screaming, and smoke filled the cockpit like a choking storm. I dropped through the atmosphere of an unregistered world, Thalion 6, praying the hull wouldn't tear apart before I found ground. It was supposed to be a quick repair stop. Nothing more. By sunset, I had found the village. It lay quietly in a valley surrounded by violet trees that shimmered under twin moons. No roads, no ships, no signs of technology, just strange spiral houses carved from smooth black stone. Too primitive for intergalactic travel. Too quiet to feel safe. I walked in slowly, hands visible, no threats. Then I realized every single person I saw was a woman. They weren't human, but close enough in shape to feel unsettling, tall, elegant, skin faintly glowing like cold starlight. Some worked in fields, some carried strange mineral jars, others stood frozen, staring at me with unreadable expressions. Their eyes followed me like I was a ghost. Then I heard the whisper. Finally! My steps halted. A group of women gathered in front of me as if materializing from thin air, forming a silent barricade. One stepped forward, sharp eyes, silver hair tied in a warrior's knot, a spear in her hand that didn't look ceremonial. She stopped inches from me. Her stare had the weight of a soldier who had seen enough battles to stop pretending she cared. "Identify yourself," she commanded. "Ethan," I said. "Ethan Ward. My ship went down. I just need a place to." Her spear lifted to my chest, forcing me still. "Sleep?" she finished, as if she already knew. My pulse quickened. "Yeah." A faint, humorless smile touched her lips, more threat than kindness. "My name is Naira, and this village has rules. Outsiders follow them, or they don't leave." I exhaled slowly. "I'm not here to start trouble." "Good," she said, "because trouble never ends well on Thalion 6. Two other women approached, one wearing layered robes, calm and observant, the other holding a device glowing with symbols. They studied me like a specimen collected for research. I should have turned around. I should have walked away. Instead, I asked, "Is there danger here?" Naira's eyes didn't blink. "Only if you stay." But something told me she was lying, and something else warned me I already had. Naira led me through the village with a pace that suggested she didn't trust me, but didn't want to show it. The air smelled faintly metallic, like rain striking stone. Children peeked from doorways, hiding behind mothers who watched me with a mix of curiosity and unease. This place wasn't hostile, but it wasn't safe either. We reached a rounded stone building with a shimmering mark carved into the entrance. Inside, it was warm, almost too warm, and candles burned with pale blue flames. A woman waited there, sitting by a window overlooking the valley. Her presence filled the room with calm before she even spoke. "You're injured," she said softly. I frowned. "No, I'm fine." "You are hurt," she repeated, not guessing, but knowing. Her eyes weren't silver like the others. They were deep violet, and they didn't just look at me. They saw me. "Ethan," she said, as if we had already met. "I am Lunara." Before I could respond, the third woman entered. Short hair, firm expression, coated in the quiet efficiency of someone who lived inside her own thoughts. "I'm Ceres. I handle medical and scientific protocol." She scanned a device over me and froze mid-scan. Her pupils narrowed. Something in my biology bothered her, or terrified her. Naira crossed her arms. "Report." Ceres didn't answer. She just stared at the scanner, analyzing it like she expected it to explode. "Ceres." Naira's voice sharpened. Ceres lifted her gaze to me slowly. "He stays. Under supervision. Immediate council review." "Excuse me." I said, "I told you. I only need parts, fuel, maybe a few hours of sleep. Then I'm gone." Naira stepped closer, her voice unyielding. "No ship leaves Thalion without authorization." "I didn't ask to land here," I said. "And we didn't ask you to survive," she replied. For a moment, silence thickened between us. Not anger, truth. Whatever this world was, it lived by necessity, not choice. Then Lunara touched my shoulder. Her voice was gentle, but carried weight. "Please understand, something is happening to our world. We didn't bring you here, But you may be the reason you found us." Her words lingered in the air like a riddle. I met her gaze. "Why are you all acting like I'm not going to leave?" Ceres lowered the scanner. "Because you can't." My chest tightened. "Is that a threat?" "No," she said coldly. "It's a biological fact." For hours, I sat in a room that felt more like a cell disguised as hospitality. Blue light pulsed softly through the walls, alive somehow, like the stone itself breathed. Outside, I heard faint voices, too low to catch, but every instinct in me screamed they were about me. The door opened. Ceres stepped in, holding a small datapad, her expression unreadable. "I ran your readings again," she said. "Twice." I leaned back, exhausted, and she hesitated, something rare for her. "Your body is producing a resonance field. Energy signatures identical to what our species lost 2 years ago." "Lost?" I asked. "What does that even mean?" She glanced around the room, as if afraid someone might hear. "Our males. Every one of them. The government conscripted them for the outer colonies. Without them, our biologists started failing. Energy loss, mental decline. We've been trying to stabilize it, but nothing works." I exhaled. "And you think I can fix that?" She looked directly at me. "You already are, just by being here." Before I could answer, Naira entered, carrying her usual storm with her. "We need to move him. The others are starting to notice." "Notice what?" I asked. "That the air feels different when you're near," Lunara's voice said from behind her. She appeared in the doorway, calm as ever, but her eyes were filled with quiet intensity. "They don't know why yet, but they will." My patience cracked. "Enough. You think I'm some kind of medicine, a lab rat you can keep around." Naira's jaw tightened. "No, but you are the first thing in months that hasn't been dying." For a heartbeat, no one spoke. The wind outside howled softly against the stone. Ceres set the datapad on the table. "There's more. When your ship crashed, the satellite grid detected a transmission burst. Encrypted. Someone knows you're here, Ethan." The chill in her voice wasn't fear. It was certainty. My stomach turned. "Who?" She met my eyes. "The same people who took our men." Naira's hand went to her weapon. "If they come for him, they'll come for us all." Lunara's voice lowered to a whisper. "Then we don't let him leave." That was the moment I realized this wasn't about me finding shelter. It was about them finding me first. Night fell fast on Thalion 6, like the sky was afraid to linger. Thick clouds rolled over the village, swallowing the moons and casting everything into shifting shadow. I stood near the edge of the settlement while Naira scanned the dark horizon, weapon drawn. "You said no one could track this place," I said quietly. "I said they shouldn't be able to," she replied, eyes locked on the ridgeline. "But someone sent a signal when you crashed." She didn't have to say the rest. I already knew. Someone here had betrayed them, which meant someone wanted to be found. A sudden pulse tore through the sky, silent but bright, like a tear opening in space. 3 black drones descended, engines humming like angry insects. They spread out in a search pattern, hunting. Naira didn't hesitate. Inside, now. I moved, but the drones were faster. One of them broke off, scanning me with a red beam locked onto my chest. Target acquired. It droned mechanically. A shot rang out. Naira's spear flashed, transforming into a pulse rifle. One clean shot, and the drone exploded mid-air. But the others returned fire. Bolts of plasma struck the ground inches from us. Dirt erupted. Buildings shook. Sirens wailed. From every direction, women ran. Fighters, civilians, children hiding behind stone walls. This wasn't a village anymore. It was a battlefield. "Ethan, get to cover," someone shouted. I ducked behind a stone barrier, grabbing fallen metal fragments and wiring. Instinct kicked in. War never leaves you. It waits beneath your skin. In seconds, I rewired a broken turret, forcing power back into its core. Come on, Werk," I muttered. The turret roared back to life, sending a beam of energy that sliced one drone clean in half. The blast lit the night sky blue. Naira stared at me, stunned. You were a soldier. Not anymore, I said, but the worst had just begun. A third drone didn't attack. It broadcasted. A hologram flickered in front of us. A masked figure appeared, cold, calm, confident. Ethan Ward, surrender yourself, and the village will be spared. Who are you? I demanded. Someone who knows what you are, the voice replied, and what you carry. I froze. What I carry? Before I could speak, the message cut. The drone self-destructed and vanished in smoke. Naira turned to me slowly. What aren't you telling us? I met her eyes but had no answer, because I had no idea what he meant. For the first time since I crashed here, I was afraid of myself. Smoke still hung over the village by dawn. People spoke in quiet voices, gathering wreckage, fixing walls, comforting shaken children. Every face carried the same question. Who betrayed us? Naira hadn't left my side. She wasn't protecting me. She was watching me, guarding me like a prisoner who hadn't been sentenced yet. Inside the council hall, torches flickered against ancient stone. Ceres stood near a table covered in shattered drone parts and blinking fragments of tech. She didn't look up when we entered. What did you find? Naira asked. Ceres tapped a cracked transmitter. This was activated before the attack. Someone here sent a trace signal. She paused. It came from inside the village. Someone called them. My jaw tightened. So one of your people wants me dead. Ceres' gaze finally met mine. No, she said. Someone wants you taken, not killed. Naira folded her arms. Same result. But before anyone could argue, Lunara stepped into the room. Her expression, usually soft, soothing, was wounded, like she had been bleeding inside all night. Enough, she said quietly. Fighting each other won't save us. Naira's voice sharpened. Someone betrayed us. Or someone panicked, Lunara countered. Fear makes people desperate. Something in her tone pulled at me. She was hiding something, but not guilt, pain. Ceres spoke again, slower this time. I've seen this signal before. Years ago, during the conscriptions. Naira stiffened. You said you cut all ties to them. I did, Ceres replied. But this tech, this frequency, belongs to the same faction that took our men. The room fell silent. Ceres continued. They don't just want labor. They are collecting genetic material, experimenting. Her eyes drifted toward me, which means Ethan isn't an accident. He's a target. The words felt like gravity crushing my chest. Why me? Ceres hesitated, then said it like a confession she had been holding back. Because whatever's inside you, it isn't human. The floor seemed to tilt under me. What are you talking about? She stared at me with something between awe and fear. Your DNA, your energy signature, it shows traces of something else, something engineered. Naira turned to me slowly, betrayal tightening her voice. You knew. No, I said firmly. I didn't. Lunara stepped closer, searching my eyes, not doubting me, but terrified for me. Before anyone could speak again, a scream echoed from outside. We ran, and what we saw froze us where we stood, because someone had just been taken.